Everyone. So we are back with another session on Android programming. In this session, we will talk about different lifecycle callbacks of Android activity. So let's directly jump into the code from the time we left in the last session, and let's open it right away. So this is the place where we left in the last session, where we created activity and declared it in the manifest file in this way. Okay, let's now talk and define our lifecycle callbacks. So the first lifecycle callback is called as Oncreate method. In this method, this is the first method basically, which is called when Android system creates the instance of activity. This is to tell the application that the activity instance is created and you can initialize your all the dependent objects which are going to be used in activity. So basically this is a place where you initialize all the required objects required in the activity. Second is onStart. It's called very in a quick succession just after the onCreate method, and this method is kind of represents a place where activity is being visible to the user, but it's in non-interactable state. So here you can do a couple of smaller short-term object initialization, which you can basically deinitialize or stop doing it in onStop method of lifecycle callback activity. We will discuss about onStop in couple of next minutes. So next method is onResume. So this is a method which is, when this method is called, it tells the application that the activity is in the completely visible state as well as interactable to the user. So basically what does that mean? User can interact with the UI components of the activity. Just after this, onPause method will be called if the activity goes into a non-interactable state but visible to the user. So that scenario is either a dialog is shown on the activity, which is a alert dialog. In that case, the activity is visible but user cannot directly interact with the activity. That is the point where onPause method is called. The next method is onStop method. So this method is called when activity has went into the background or it's overlapped by any other component which is completely basically a full window component. So it could be any other activity, or the current activity or the application goes into the background state by when you press the home button. At that point of time, onStop is called. OnDestroy. So this is the final state where the instance of activity will be destroyed in a few of the scenarios, where let's consider you have an activity open and when you press a black button, at that point of time, your onPause, onStop and onDestroy, all three methods will called sequentially. So finally, once this method is called, this method represents that your instance of the activity is from the memory is being removed. Okay, so these are the 6 important lifecycle callbacks of activity. In this, the lifecycle activity callbacks are corresponding to each other. For example, onCreate is corresponding to onDestroy, onStart is corresponding to onStop, and onResume is corresponded to onPause. What does that mean? If you do some object initialization in onCreate, you should plan to deinitialize the same object in onDestroy rather than doing it in onStop or onPause. It is a very simple rule to understand and follow, and it's applicable to most of the scenarios. So for example, when you initialize something in onResume, which you do when you really want the activity to be interactable at the current point of time, and you will deinitialize that object or basically stop that functionality in the onPause method, because at this point of time activity is not interactable to the user. I hope you understood the meaning of all those methods and all those lifecycle methods of activity. And you can play with these methods by adding logs and moving the application to different scenarios, and try to understand these methods in depth, as they play a very important role in making decisions on object initializations and deinitializations. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you have learned something new about active lifecycle method today. Thank you.